Okay, hey, good morning and welcome to Did I Fix That? Today I'm going to do something kind of like a reloaded version, if you will, of my most popular video, and that was the weed eater powered bicycle that I did several years ago. I'll do this one a little different to address some of the concerns that we had with everything. And so what prompted this was took a buddy of mine to the dump, dropped some stuff off, saw this bike here, it looks brand new, so I said, hey, why don't we see if we can knock it out? I've got this old blower here. It works just fine. And we're going to use this motor off this. This is an Echo blower. You can use a weed eater. You can use anything with a little motor on it. In the past, I've used two different types of motors. One was a 2-stroke and the other was a 4-stroke. And I don't know if they make a lot of the 4-strokes anymore. It was off of a Ryobi weed eater, and did that. Worked pretty well, had a lot more low-end torque, so it kind of gets you going quicker, but didn't seem to have the top-end speed that the 2-stroke did, and that's pretty much typical of how those engines perform. 4-strokes should have more low-end, and the 2-strokes have more top-end. But the first thing you need to do is make sure that your engine is operational, and then once you've established that, first thing you have to do is deconstruct your device. So what I'm going to do real quickly is take this thing apart. This is just a basically has a bunch of screws holding it in, so we're gonna undo these just kind of so we can get down to the actual motor itself. I don't know if I'll take these all the way out or not. Then that should eventually, oh, we got one more right there. That's the ticket there. Okay, and unlock is up. No. Okay. All right, so each one's going to be a little bit different as far as how to get these things undone. That one had a little detent we had to push in, and that wiggles out. All right, there's the hose is out. Then just basically you're going to take all your screws out that hold everything together. We'll just quickly take these out. Now let's talk about the bicycles as well. It's going to be a 20-inch rim on that little bicycle. And in the past, 20-inch rim works like a champ. My daughter, who is fortunately filming for me right now, we made one with her for her, but we had a 16-inch rim. And that worked really well. I mean, that bike, and she was a little tiny thing, but probably weighed, I don't know, 60 pounds at the time. She had, with that bicycle, had a, I think it was a Home Light motor on hers, and it would probably push her around about 30 miles an hour, which I'm sure if any moms hear about that, they'll get excited. But I mean, it really did a great job for her. Pretty fuel efficient as well, and she could kind of ride through grass and that kind of stuff really well. So once again, I'm just kind of taking everything apart here, just kind of deconstructing it. Each one's going to be a little different as far as how they're held together. So there's a couple of Allen screws on that I'm going to have to address. And so the front half of the cover is almost ready to come off, I think. Okay, this throttle lock. Okay. So I'm going to get a couple of Allen wrenches out here, pop this loose. Now, also it's important on your bicycle, we'll jump over there and take a look at it in just a second, that you get a good frame. And I'm not really terribly excited about the frame that I've got. It will work. It's not really what I'd prefer, but and we'll show that to you in just a second here. Okay, we got these out, and this one's almost apart here. Now the weed eaters, they should come apart about like this. Nothing's really super complicated on these. Take this off. I don't know if anything's hiding underneath the air cleaner. And that would be, nope. All right. Let's see if we got everything out. Okay, a couple more here. This thing should about be ready to come apart. I know watching me take this apart is like watching paint dry, but we're gonna do a multi-part series on this. Okay, is that not? Yeah, two more. Huh. Okay. They're all held with the same screws in this plastic. There we go. Okay. Let's see if that puppy will come apart now. Alright, and looks like we're almost apart. Seems like there's something holding it down here. Okay. Let's see. No, that's just the fuel tank. Alright, so there's something hiding underneath here. So, let's see if we can get this out. Get that out. These things come apart pretty easily for the most part. Okay, that should pop off. And that revealed nothing. Still take that off. Take that apart. It should pop off. Ah. All right, Dumas, there's one right here. And we'll have this thing apart right about now. That's that. This comes apart. I have to get a socket and take that off so I can get this other housing off, which don't have. Okay. Alrighty, got Allen bolt right here, or actually that is a, yep, Allen. There we go. Okay, doing good. Alright, that's off. And we got one right here too. Taking that apart. So now that we have this apart, let's see here. If that's going to yield anything else. Yes, there's a couple of screws, and I've got to get this fan off. I don't have my socket set with me. If I'm lucky, will that fit? Hey, how about that? All right, so that's on there pretty good. All right. Try that one more time. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to get my impact driver and get that loose. We're going to jump back over here to the bicycle, and let me show you. Key thing, this dimension here is really, really short on this bike. This is kind of like a compact bike, but it'll work, and we're going to use this bike because it was free. But more importantly, it's important, I found in my other design, to have this bar right here. And we're going to use this as basically a pivot point for the motor. So it's very important in your frame that you have this bar here. Now this bike did have lever style brakes, front and rear. I've taken those off because in the back here is where the brake was mounted. And we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna mount something there. We'll show you that in a bit. Now this does have a coaster brake, so you just pedal backwards to lock, you know, to stop like most bikes have. But I do like to see this tube coming up a little higher with like a bigger frame. Makes it a little bit easier to build. But we'll show you that in just a little bit. So come back in just a second. Okay, now I've got my impact driver and my socket set. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit this real quick, bust that off. There we go. All right, so the fan is off. Okay, it's got a little different design there to it. We'll address that in a bit. All right, so now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Allen heads holding in our motor, and our motor's going to be free in about 2 seconds here. So we'll pop these loose, and we'll get this rascal out. Really? So they changed socket size or Allen wrench sizes on me. So we'll bump down. So I was using a 4. Let's see if this 3.5 fits it. No. No. Must be a 3 millimeter. All right. Here we go. And that's it. Yep, 3 millimeter. All right, so we're going to break these loose. There's 1. And number 2. Whoop. Let's get those in there. See if I can get it just that way. Nah. Not get it to happen. Okay, let's try it one more time. It's a little tricky to get in there with these because my Allen wrenches aren't quite long enough on the short L part. There's 2. So 3. There's 3. And let's see if we can get old lucky number 4 out. So right here you can see they're kind of down in there. And like I said, each one of these little motors is going to be different as far as how to deconstruct these things. But got that coming out. All right, so this pup's about to come out completely. There's 1. There's 2. It'd be nice to have these on an impact. I could zip them out in about 2 seconds. Let me put it down on the ground so we can see. This will make it a lot easier to work on this way. There's 2. 2 out. Let's go number 3 here. So once again, I'm just doing this as a repeat video to the first one. Got a little bit of criticism because nobody ever saw me ride the bike, but it did perform quite well. I had a lot of fun on that, riding around with my daughter. But we're going to incorporate some safety issues, or some safety items, I should say, that we had with the other one. So this should just about pop off now. What have we got holding it up? Anything? Let's see that there. Motor is pretty much free here. Yeah, let's back out that 1 screw for the gas tank that I should have taken out and left out, but there we go. That screw and oh, okay. Get all those out completely. That one's not. There's my problem. That's out, that's out. Alright, I'm having a crazy guy moment here. Now that I'm 50, I guess I can act a little crazy. Alright, that's out, that's out, that's out. And this should pop on out. But, oh. Hello, McFly. We got one last screw I didn't see there, holding it in right here. All right, so we're now free as a bird. That'll come out. Okay, handle off. Okay, we got to be careful with our wiring here. We don't want to jack that up. We'll break the wiring loose in just a second. But that is now free. Except for if those are all free. All right. Okay. One more holding in that gas tank. That's the one that's holding me up. Did not see that down there. All right. Last time saying we're free, but clearly we are now. Okay. So that's how you pretty much deconstruct your engine, or your get it free. And all right, that's part one, just a simple deconstruction and talking about the bike frame. Once again, 20-inch seems to work really well. The 16-inch that my daughter had worked like a champ for her. She was a lot smaller than I at that time, still is. So at any rate, we'll tune in. We'll do part two in just a little bit. Thank you.